I had open heart surgery in 1978 so I would not die. I'm supposed to have surgery again to replace the stent that is keeping my aortic valve opened. They saved my life at the age of 6. Let me just pause for a second and tell you that I have 40 of these. I'm not going to read all of them to you. My father was a Vietnam vet, died 5 years ago. I was told he had Agent Orange. I was born with hip dysplasia, no fingers on the left hand, and no toes on the left foot. My daughter has hip problems, and my son has social anxiety disorder and dyslexia. He was born with a premature learning disability. There was no one to answer these emails if I would have sent them when I was looking for help. I have 32 illnesses of the 800 that we have collected on our databases for 2nd gen. 3rd gen, we have 200 reported. The highest reported is autism.
This is the solution.
This is a call for all of you, every single one of you, to educate the people that you come into contact with on a daily basis, the people that fight against us. On Monday, in 2 days, it will be the 32nd anniversary of my father's death. Harry C. Mackle Jr. served this city as a stakeout officer and was honored as a hero. He died in 1982. I have one question for all of you. Are you in or are you out?
In! Hey! Ho ho!
What's no?
Monsanto has got to go!
Hey, hey!
Hey!
Ho ho! Monsanto has got to go!
Hey! Hey! Ho ho!
Monsanto has got to go!
Hey! Hey! Ho ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey! Hey! Ho ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey! Hey! Ho ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey! Hey! Ho ho! Monsanto has got to go!
It's Monsanto. For those that don't know me, my friends call me Diamond. My name's Dave Mariello. You might have seen me on social media. When I was a kid, my mother's sister, it was my Uncle Bob. It was 1981. I remember he died. And as a child, I was like 10 or 11. I remembered it was weird because Uncle Bob was 30, this kind of cool party animal guy. And I had just thought about it recently. Uncle Bob was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. And he died at 31 because of that job. And it was the weirdest death of my life. And I just remember, the only thing I remember about Uncle Bob is a statement I heard my mother and her sister talking about. In the autopsy, when they took out his heart, a 31-year-old man, it was like Jell-O. It went through their fingers, the doctor's fingers. Now it's from Agent Orange. It's crazy. I don't even think that my cousins know that Monsanto killed their father. And I don't know if it's my responsibility to tell them, but it's my responsibility to fight back, and that's why I'm here. So let me tell you why we're here. On May 25th of 2013, 2 million people from 52 countries in more than 436 cities took place in the first global day of action against Monsanto. How many people were here? Awesome. The reason this happened is because Monsanto is one of the most hated corporations in the world. And I'll give you a quick example. They're blamed for 17,638 deaths in India alone in 2009. And that is just one place on the planet. Monsanto is everywhere on the planet. In fact, Monsanto is responsible for producing the most dangerous products ever conceived in human history, including Agent Orange, DDT, and PCBs. And now we're here for GMOs. The reckless use of these chemicals calls into question Monsanto's testing standards. First, their lack of scientific rigor, their disregard for the precautionary principle, and their disregard for human life and our ecosystem. We're currently faced with Monsanto's proliferation of genetically modified foods. and the use of the dangerous chemicals associated with their production. Additionally, we're also worried about their efforts to control the world food supply. And I'll tell you why it's very important for those that don't know. In 2000, in the year 2000, an open letter from world scientists to all governments concerning genetically modified organisms was signed by 828 of the leading scientists of the world. It detailed concerns about genetically modified organisms and called for an immediate 5-year suspension of their proliferation. And this was in order to conduct a comprehensive investigation to secure the future of agriculture for humanity and for food security for the entire planet. They were ignored. Once again, if you visited the table, you will see that the substantial ties between top key positions in Monsanto that now have positions with the FDA, the EPA, the Supreme Court, not to mention departments of agriculture, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Defense, the Department of State, the White House, the Social Security Administration. All these people used to work at Monsanto. Is that a problem for you?
Yes!
To add insult to injury, ladies and gentlemen, another obscene development as we sit here, a Monsanto executive is winning this year's Nobel Prize for Agriculture. The prestigious World Food Prize. They're winning it for creating GMOs. I'm going to tell you that receiving this prize legitimizes this sort of rampant, reckless behavior that this biotech company has shown. It also shows and helps validate the ruthless business practices and model that we all know does these things. It impoverishes farmers. It monopolizes our food system. And if that is not baffling enough, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Syngenta, which is another biotech company, just go look up there. There's another one of those corporations. The founder of Syngenta is the same biotech giant which is joining Bayer currently in suing Europe to keep selling bee-killing neonicotinoid pesticides. They're also winning the prize with them. Now, if you don't know, the European Union banned neonicotinoids. That's a big step because our bee population globally is less than half in the last decade. But here in North America, officials and politicians which are financially beholden to the biotech industry, Monsanto, they pretend there is no problem. However, I can tell you, in 2010, the USDA reported a 33% annual bee loss for the last 5 years. And if you do the math, that means that currently the world population of bees is 70% less than it was 10 years ago. And I don't know if you know this, a famous scientist, Albert Einstein, said, without bees, humanity has but 4 years. And I do not want to test that hypothesis. Do you? No! So, all this crazy stuff and a great outpouring of support here. We are winning. And I can tell you that since May 25th, Monsanto Corporation has lost money. Their quarterly earnings report, they reported a loss. I can also tell you that the ridiculous Monsanto Protection Act, which was signed on May 28th by our president, which allowed carte blanche proliferation of GMOs, even if the world decided they were dangerous to human consumption and our population, they would be allowed to proliferate them. That has been dropped, and it no longer is in effect October 1st. That's because of our work. It's because of our work. So I'm glad everyone came out. You know why I'm passionate about this, because this is our food supply. I mean, and it goes to the very core of so many issues on this planet, from the government corruption to the fact that in the last 15 years, the United States is the most unhealthy country in the world, It's because the food system is broken. And I can show you a really good example of a fixed food system is Food Not Bombs over here, feeding us all that food that's making the rest of the world go hungry, right? We have enough food on this planet to feed everyone. It's being distributed improperly. And Food Not Bombs is teaching the world a little bit better how to distribute food. So with that being said, I'm glad everybody came.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go!
Started to be GMO free. I've been educating myself a lot the past couple of months, just for my own personal health reasons. I actually suffer from a skin condition called psoriasis, and I've been following a book written by Dr. Pagano that you actually use food to heal your body basically from the inside out, and a lot of it is, you know, the same basis as what all these people here believe. My friends, my family, you know, just anyone that will listen, really.
Okay. What did you change, and when did you start to change it?
I've actually been, well, it's not really diet, it's a lifestyle change. I basically I cut out, you know, red meats, basically processed foods. 80% of my diet is, you know, fruits and vegetables. I try and buy organic as often as possible, although it's tough when you're on a budget. But, you know, and I have seen amazing changes just in, you know, reflecting on the outside.